I think one of the biggest factors that takes joy away from us, that brings us anxiety, brings us worry, brings us doubts, negative thoughts, whatever it might be, it's different for everybody. But I think the biggest factor is just the idea that it can be hard to be present in the present moment sometimes. It can hard to just be focused on what's happening right now, on who you are right now. And we spend so much time in our heads. At least I know I have. Maybe you've dealt with something similar, but you spend a lot of time living in your head, and this leads to you thinking too far ahead, and you can't really enjoy what's going on right now or who you even are right now. And I think when you're in that mindset, it's impossible to really be yourself. It's impossible to grow into the person you're meant to be because you're constantly thinking ahead. You're constantly comparing yourself to other people. You're constantly doubting. And I think the more you look ahead, it's easier for those things to happen and those thoughts to creep into your mind. And the thing about the mind is that whatever it is fed, that's what you're going to start to tell yourself that you are, and that's who you will be. That's how you're going to live. But if you can focus on the now, I think whenever we can just focus on who we are right now, like where we are, we're here for a reason. We're here for a purpose. And, whatever happened yesterday, it's out of my control. It's gone. Whatever's going to happen tomorrow, again, it's out of my control. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But today, I'm in control right now. I'm in control of what's going on right in this very moment. And, that's such a blessing. That's a blessing. And, when you can, what I know is when I can maintain that mindset, I just feel so much more in control. I feel so much more joy and peace, and I feel more alive because I'm not thinking about anything else but who I am right now and how I can make the absolute most out of the moment that we currently have. Master Oogway said it best from Kung Fu Panda. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it's called the present. And man, was he spitting some facts, because that's a banger right there. It really is, And now it's nighttime. So I took a break to go get dinner with the fam, and came back and decided to finish the recording, and it's nighttime because it gets dark at 4 p.m. and it's pitch black out now. So, but anyways, we were on the topic of being present, right? Yeah, being present. And it's so easy to just get lost in your thoughts, get lost in your head sometimes, and it really just takes everything out of the now. It takes every bit of enjoyment out of being here and where we are and who we're around and our conversations and our own being, our own existence. And we get so caught up in maybe the future. That's a big thing for me. I literally I think about the future so much that it just takes so much away from right now. But what I've realized is that until you truly learn to just let go of any fear that you have, any doubt that you have, let go of any insecurities that you have or negative things that people might tell you or negative things that you tell yourself, or even the good things, like when you try to hold on so hard to the good things or try and hold on so hard to just doing good, constantly holding on. I've found, and I think this is truly the secret to just finding joy and peace. You have to just let go. You got to let go of all of it. Stop trying so hard to just be perfect. Stop trying so hard to be different or to fit in. Whatever it is, just be you. Let go. And you can't truly start living until you let go. And man, this is really something I've battled with for so long. There's been numerous times, I feel like I've just wasted, years of my life because there's always something in the back of my head that I was just holding on to, I was clinging to, and it was preventing me from just being my true, authentic self. I'm not going to say it was time wasted because I don't think there really is such a thing. I think everything happens for a reason, and we go through phases for a reason, and I learned from it. And I'm not going to say that I've mastered this secret, but it definitely is a secret, and I've started to understand it. There's been days where it's like I I'm in a great mood. And then, there's another day where I'm just completely back into my head and into my thoughts. I'm like, dude, I don't know what it is, but look at James in the back. James. But I don't want to keep living in my head. Like, I want to be free every day. I want to live like that every day. Why can't I live like this every single day? And I started to think about it. Literally, why can't I live like this every day? The only limit, the only restriction is myself. That's it. It's myself. It's my mind. It's what I feed my mind. It's what I tell myself. That is the only restriction. It's the only limit. And it finally just kind of clicked to me that in order to truly just live, in order to just be present, in order to find that peace and that joy, in order to start actually living, actually start, I feel like I question, like, what do I need to be doing? Like, how do I know what to pursue? How do I find purpose? How do I do this? How do I do that? What do I do? And it's like, I'm just thinking so hard all the time. I'm trying so hard to just take control of everything that I'm not actually giving myself the opportunity to just be me and let go. And man, since I've done that, it's night and day. The biggest saying is just my relationships with people. Like, I've grown tremendously in my relationships with people. I'm just so much more present in my conversations I have with people. I'm able to just actually like tap into my true energy, my true, creativity, and everything just kind of flows from it. And it really is a beautiful thing to see and experience, because you start to feel yourself coming back to you. You start to feel the real you coming back to you. And you imagine how many people go through life not really ever discovering that or ever feeling that, because it's just being suppressed for all these years because of all these things that they put on themselves, all these titles, things that we tie our worth to. If all you can identify as is your name or your job or or money or status, then who really are you? It's not about what you do, it's about who you are. It's not about what you do, it's about who you are. And if you don't know who you are, then you're just going to be kind of floating. You're going to be floating around. You're just going to be conforming to the things around you that happen around you, or you're going to be sitting in your head truly questioning, what is my purpose here? Like, what am I doing? Who am I? So ask yourself, whatever your name is, that's not who you are. Yeah, it's a name that people might call you and that the name that was given to you at birth, but that's not who you are. You're a human being. You have a soul. And in that soul, there's beauty, there's light, and you have the ability to shine it. And I think whenever we're able to shine it, the world shines back on us, because that's what's beautiful about life, is that we get what we put out. It's the law of attraction. And I haven't really studied that or anything, but it just makes sense. Like, you get what you put out. If all you put out is negativity, if all you put out is negative things that you tell about yourself, and you go around life with all these things that you've placed on yourself, then that's what you're going to get. That's how it's going to stay. But if you completely switch it the other way, look into a positive light, man, it's night and day. And I don't know about you, but that's the life I want to live. That's how I want to start living. And it's easier said than done, because life is hard. Life is hard. There's trials and suffering that we all go through in life, and it's hard. There's some days that are genuinely harder than others. But in the end, it's about who you are, not what you do. It's not about your circumstance, but it's about who you are. Jesus tells the parable about the wise man who built his house on the rock versus the man who built his house on the sand. When the storms came, they blew the house away on the sand because the foundation wasn't strong enough. But the wise man who built his house on the rock, it stood firm. Life's the same exact way. And that's why that parable is so prevalent today, because if you have a foundation, what do you have? If you don't have that foundation, what's going to happen whenever something comes in your life and it knocks you down and it wipes that foundation away? Then who are you? If you have a firm foundation, you'll be able to identify what's going on. You'll be able to bounce up, and you'll be able to stay true to that foundation. You won't wash away. You won't go with the waters. And it's a beautiful thing. Now, I do hope that you just consider this. I feel like this is just so key. Like, it's night and day difference. We spend so much of our time just trying to just hold on to things and take control of everything because we think that's what we need to do, right? But what if the secret to finding joy, to finding peace, is the complete opposite? What if it's just to let go? Let go. Man. I want y'all to experience it just as much as I'm trying to experience it and living in now. And it really does things just start to click once again. You know, you start to just see life for what it is, and everything's just more enjoyable. Like, you start to see things as they are. Everything's more good. Everything's better. And you really do. You have the joy. You have the peace. And when you have that, then you're able to just start living out your true self. And not only is that good for you because it feels great to just be yourself, but it influences other people and it spreads to other people. You're a light. You're literally a light that just spreads to other people's lives and impacts other people's lives. And it's a ripple effect, man. Everything, your relationships get better. Everything just builds upon that. And, you know, I don't know how hard it's going to be to maintain that. But I do understand that it all comes down to your mind. And you quite literally have the power to be the person that you're meant to be. If you just tell yourself, and you tell yourself enough that you are that person again. And, you know, it's like the same way that we kind of program ourselves to think a certain way because of things we might see, you know, social media and all these things that this life, whenever we get fed all these things in life, it kind of programs your mind to think a certain way. In the same way, you got to reprogram that shit. You got to reprogram it to just be you. Like, you got to let go of all these things. You know, I think that's one of the biggest factors too, is just like the media and what people have told you maybe growing up. All these things that are brought upon you, it kind of just, it limits your ways of thinking because it only makes you kind of think one way and you think that's just normal. But what if you can just open up beyond that and just have your own mind, actually just question things, right? It's crazy. Like, there's just so much that is revealed when you actually make the effort to just see life for what it is and actually ask yourself questions. It's night and day. And yeah, I'm kind of yapping because that tends to happen when I get to smacking, yo. Yo, Kid Peak is back. What y'all know about Kid Peak? Hey, follow the SoundCloud, Kid Peak. Oh shoot, they got coyotes. But then that's all I got for this video. Hope God blesses you all. Hope you have a Merry Christmas. Stay true to yourself. Just let go. Learn to let go, and then you'll finally start living. That's gonna be my new life phrase, I guess. Until you let go, you can't start living. It's a beautiful thing. So thank y'all for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one.